Okay, we're gonna get started in a few seconds while I have you guys. We're gonna give some time for people to jump on, but today's discussion is about should you consider going with a team or should you go independent when you get licensed? So let's start things off. Bismillah. So we talked about how to pick your brokerage last time and the questions you need to ask, and those similar questions will fall in line when you're trying to pick a team. So the title of this is talking about the red flags of a team lead. You see, a lot of people when they become an agent, they're pretty much just again going with who they know. And a lot of team leads are toxic. They pretty much leech off of you. They tell you all these great things they're gonna do. Yeah, work with me, we'll get these things done. And then you start with the team and you know the guy makes a lot of money. He makes 200K, 300K, 500K even. And then he tells you, here's a list of people, maybe you can start calling them. Or forget that, he doesn't even give you a list to call. You're pretty much lost, right? So as an agent, how do you navigate that? How do you know when your team lead is toxic? On the flip side, you have guys who are complainers. All they do is complain. All they do is find excuses. Even if the entire room were to tell them you're just making excuses, they will find an excuse to blame their team lead. And those are toxic agents. Those are toxic team members. Okay, so you have both sides to this consideration. So let's start from the top. Generally, when you're with a team, your team lead should give you leads to call. And here's the biggest misconception. And again, if you're gonna follow my content, you gotta. It's not for everybody. The tone that I'm going to be using is meant for agents who can uh, deal with the tone, if that makes sense. What I don't want to do is I don't want to create content where we're just being very nice and soft and gentle. No, this is not a job. Real estate is a business. So it's easier and it's better for you if we cut to the chase and actually address the issue. So you have whiners, you have complainers and whiners. So if you're a complainer or a whiner and you're watching this, you're probably going to get offended. And then you have two options. Either you can consider the truth and the reality, or you can just keep complaining and whining. And in that case, you shouldn't be watching this. So let's go back to this. You have team leads who give you leads to call. So some people have this misconception: I'm calling these leads, but they're not any good. Listen, brother, this is not a situation where someone is just giving you free money. How on earth are you expecting people to just give you clients that have money ready to go? In that case, why would it give it to you? If the team lead has tens and hundreds of leads that are ready with money, he's gonna use those leads and he's gonna make money off of that. No team lead on the face of the planet has leads that are qualified and they're ready to go with cash buyers. It's not like that. And that's not how business works. The biggest misconception is that agents join a team waiting to be spoon fed, as if, like, well, I joined the team, give me money. No, you join the team for opportunities. And if you can't understand the difference between the two, what does it mean to expect money versus expecting opportunity? You're not going to be successful. If you're saying, I joined your team, give me money, that's called a job. Like, you work for Pizza Hut, you say, I joined Pizza Hut, I'm working from 8 to 5, give me money. If you're looking for that, real estate is not for you. But if you're trying to work with a business, that's different. Then in that case, okay, give me opportunities. And the difference between a business and a job is that with opportunities, there is no limit. There's no ceiling. You can just keep going and you can just keep going. So lead is supposed to provide you, your team lead is supposed to give you client leads that have some potential, right? They can be warm leads. There are people who deal with cold leads. But the truth is, stop expecting a hot lead, right? So long as your team lead is providing you leads, he's doing his job. Now, for you, it depends. Are you following up with those leads? If you're not, because you have complaints and you're whining, you can't say your team lead is toxic. You're toxic, right? But if the team lead isn't giving you any opportunities like that, that's a bad team lead and that's a red flag. Another situation what's a red flag for a team lead is if you're stuck in a situation and they don't actually help you, they don't actually train you, they don't actually guide you or show you your path. So you join a team and every time your team lead is there to help you. Okay, So I have a lead and he's always there to help. So that means I have to go to him to ask for help. That's not a good team lead for someone who's new. Okay, if I'm in a team lead and I'm experienced, I don't need my team lead to come to me and remind me. I'm the one who's supposed to go to him and ask him. But if you're new, if you just got your license this year or you're gonna get it this year, your team lead should come to you and he should tell you, hey, how are you doing? What's the plan? Here's the outline. Here's your progress. Here's the map you need to follow to be successful. If your team lead is not giving you a map where you can become successful, that's a red flag in the team lead. And again, this is only for new agents. We're not talking about people who are experienced. People who are experienced is a different discussion. So that's another thing. So some people are like, I have a great team lead. He's always there to help. He's always there to help. He's always there to help. That's the worst sentence you can tell somebody. He's always there to help. I'm here to help too. Am I your team lead? No. Then why are you giving him 50%? Give me your 50%. I'll take it. I'm here to help too. The whole point of you being with the team lead is that he shows you the outline, the path you have to take to be successful in real estate. So that's what's supposed to happen. Your team lead is supposed to come to you and say, here's where you are. You have your license. Here are the steps you need to take to complete your training. After you finish that, here's what you need to do to get your first client. And then when you have a first client, here's what you do to close that client and go to a closing. That's a good team lead. A team lead who's not doing that, that's a red flag, right? So that's another red flag for team leads. I'll keep moving on. The next one, splits, right? Everyone, again, you have whiners and complainers, or some people say, oh, the split is 50-50. Well, he's taking so much of my commission. I got to pay this. I got to pay that. Again, this is not a job. No one owes you a 70-30 split. No one owes you a 60-40 split. In fact, you can just go ahead on your own and do it. And you know what happens? Let's talk about the flip side. Agents who are, the truth is they're greedy, okay? They're greedy or they're stingy or they're both. Agents who are that, when they first become an agent, their first thing is, and maybe you might say, hey, but I'm not greedy and stingy. Then that means you haven't considered the different possibilities and maybe you're just not knowledgeable. That's another reason too. So either you're greedy or you're stingy or you don't have the knowledge to understand why you should be in the team. You say, okay, you know what, I want to save more money. I can have a more of a commission if I don't join the team. Why don't I just do that instead? Well, if you do that, then many agents who end up going with this route where they think they'll make more money, they end up selling significantly less amount of homes in the year. So in their head, they're like, well, instead of a 50-50 split, I have an 80-20 or I have a 90-10 split, meaning I get 90% and the broker takes 10% and we're good. And then the guy sells 3 houses in the entire year. We sold 3 houses this month. You're selling 3 houses in the entire year. So what are you going to do with that 40% more or whatever it is? It's not that big of a deal. If you're a new agent, you should be in a growth mindset. What that means is that you should be looking for opportunities to learn from people. Why would you go the long route to understand how to sell a house or how to buy a house or how to help people attain that, where you have people who are successful in the industry for 4 or 5 years who can tell you exactly how to do it? They'll save you so much time. You're not paying them 50% because they're your best friend or they're cool. You're paying them for their knowledge. You're paying them for their expertise. You're paying them for saving you time in your growth. That's the whole reason. That's the value behind it, right? So my recommendation is that if you're someone who's new as an agent, you should always join a team. You should always join a team. Like, this is like a rule of thumb. If you try to do it on your own, yes, is it doable? Yes, but you'll have a lot less motivation because there's no team lead to keep you in check. You're brand new, so you'll be lost and you don't know what you don't know. So you don't even know what questions to ask to even learn about. So when you're saying, well, my broker is always available, he's so great, and the team here in the brokerage is so great, everyone is so helpful. Well, that's great, but what do they actually help you with? How much time do you actually spend with them and what do you actually benefit from them? Probably not much because you don't know what to ask them, right? The only questions you ask are the situations that come up on the spot. Oh, I just got a buyer. How do I deal with that? I just got a seller. How do I deal with that? But there is no systematic approach for you to follow. And that's That's a problem. So if you want to save time in the long run, and if you want to actually find the shortcuts to pretty much understanding how to have a successful business, you should join a team. But when you join a team, you should see if the lead is toxic, like if he's actually leeching off of you, which is very true, or if he's actually someone who's supportive. He's there giving you reminders in the week to be on top of your work. He's there to guide you, to give you the systematic outline for you to follow to develop in the career. He's there when you're texting him and he's not ghosting you. He's providing you with opportunities, whether they're cold leads or warm leads. He's guiding you on how to have that conversation, how to prospect, what does prospecting mean? Prospecting means that when you call people, you're basically asking them questions to inquire about their interest in either buying a house or selling a house. And then if they are interested, you're basically trying to take them to the next step, which is for you to consult with them and for them to consult with you and see if you and that client is a good match. And if you are a good match, then you would take them on. And then you would help them either buy a house or sell a house. That's what prospecting refers to. So your lead would help you with the prospecting aspect. Your lead would be there pretty much guiding you as a mentor, right? He's not there to pay you money. That's the other end, right? So if you have a lead like that, be grateful and find people like that. Ask the right questions to team leads and ask them, hey, do you have a process? Just like the broker, do you have a process for me to follow in order to be successful in real estate? How did you become successful in real estate? What were your hurdles? How often will you meet me on a weekly basis? How often are we meeting on a monthly basis? They should be able to give you answers to those questions. If anyone says anytime you need, if anyone gives you a blanket statement, that's a red flag. You want people who give you specific instructions, who guide you exactly where you need to go and tell you what you need to do, and you need to suck it up, be quiet, and listen to their instructions and execute. That's how you actually make sure you're a successful brand new agent, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to cover with you guys. Again, so in short and summary, should you be independent or should you be in a team? The answer is, if you just got your license, you should definitely join a team. When should you go independent? I'll kind of give a quick overview on that. When you've at least sold, I would say maybe anywhere between 40 to 50 homes. If you haven't done 40 to 50 homes, you actually don't have enough experience, right? Because some people say, oh, you should go independent after 1 year. What if the person only sold 5 houses that year? What experience does he have, right? And what if all of those 5 homes were with his family and friends? He doesn't know how to deal with strangers. He doesn't know how to deal with other people. What if all of those homes were just to help someone buy a house? So he doesn't even know how to sell a house. What if all of those homes he bought were just in the city of Warren? So he has never ventured out to Sterling Heights or Dearborn. You see all these problems. So once you sell 40 to 50 homes or buy 40 to 50 homes, once you hit that number, then you can be at a point where you say, I know enough to go off on my own. Until then, don't be greedy. And if you want to say, I want to do that, I want to leave in a year, then fine, sell 40 houses in a year, right? But that's my point. That's the short point to it, right? You should be able to do that. The successful agents every single time are the ones who stick it out, who don't let money get in the way, who look for opportunities to grow, who are open-minded, and they actually listen to the instructions by their leads. And then they become really good leads after that fact, right? So that's my 2 cents on whether you should join a team or whether you should go solo. And if you do go solo, at what point would that be? If you guys are appreciating this content, follow my content, subscribe, ask me any questions. Let me know if there's anything you want me to specifically speak about. Right now, I'm just going through the journey of someone who just became an agent. Assalamu alaikum.